our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now. Don't look back now.
Dear Year 13, our IB class of 2021. I'm very pleased to open our virtual graduation ceremony for our IB class of 2021. I know that we were hoping so much to be able to celebrate the completion of your school life together in person. And there will inevitably be some sadness around the fact that this was not to be. Nonetheless, I hope that today's event will be a joyful one, which celebrates you as individuals, as well as a group who have contributed so much to our Nexus community. I have enjoyed getting to know you over these past 2 years, through Stuco meetings for some of you, IB events you have organised or been involved in, and of course through our Theory of Knowledge lessons. As a year group, I have been impressed by your resilience, determination, and good humour, as well as your kindness and concern for each other. These are all the qualities we value here at Nexus, and I hope you will take them with you on your next adventures in life. What has been evident throughout your 2 years has been the importance to all of you of relationships. There's a reason relationships are such a fundamental aspect of our Nexus way. It's because we all know how important they are to be successful in learning and in life. As a year group, the ability to forge and maintain positive relationships is a quality which you have all shown you have in abundance. You have supported each other throughout the 2 years of the IB programme and shown adaptability and flexibility in the way that you have interacted with each other and with your teachers. This has been so important over the course of the pandemic and the MCOs. This is of course not the only way you have impressed over your IB studies, showing dedication to your learning, commitment to service, and talent in many different areas such as sport, the arts, and debating, to name but a few. I know that all the qualities you have shown and developed will stand you in good stead as you embark on the next phase of your life. I hope we will see you all back at Nexus. As our graduates, you are always part of the school community, and please come and visit us at any time. Do keep in touch with us and let us know how you're getting on. I know that many of you already have exciting plans ahead for next year, and I wish you all every success, whatever comes.
Good afternoon. We would first like to thank our teachers and friends for choosing both of us to be this year's valedictorians. Celebrating the last moments of IB together, words cannot express how honoured we are to be able to openly speak to our cohort one last time.
This was definitely not how we imagined our IB graduation would turn out like, but the fact that we even have one and that both of us are able to be here, we would like to take this opportunity to talk about this cohort's 2-year journey. Looking back at all of us walking into the boarding house for IB induction weekend, we all felt like strangers. Even though there were familiar faces, there was the shared anxiety that we all had about IB. We were already expected to sign up for our subject choices and get familiar with our future classmates. That's when we all knew that the next 2 years were going to be one hell of a ride.
But when school officially started, as we were all rolling up our sleeves, thinking whether to tuck in or untuck, and panicking about the new teachers, especially if Backhouse was actually a new teacher's family name, we realized there has been a shift in our social status. There were tangible things that were clear to us, like having access to the third floor library, wearing our new blue uniforms, and more extracurricular opportunities. But when the intangible moments, such as juniors looking up to you and teachers stop treating you as kids, that's when it hits. We're all big boys now, and this is the IB. During this time, we were still in the phase where we gave the awkward hey in the corridor or the mandatory fist bump. So you could imagine the atmosphere when Miss Saran told us we'll all be going on a trip for 5 days together with this cohort.
Many of us would still consider our trip to Janabai as one of the main highlights of our IB. It gave us a chance to bond and connect with one another personally, whether it was performing fashion shows in front of each other or destroying the teachers in paintball, the soaked clothes from swimming in the river or the smoke from the BBQ. It all showed a side of us that would never have been shown in a school setting, and that changed us from being friends we met from school to friends that we will keep for a lifetime. Slowly but surely, we were all becoming closer, and I'm glad this cohort's relationship only grew stronger from there. So our first year ended up with us settling into the IB and getting comfortable with one another.
It was just like the early stages of a new relationship, but everyone was trying to do things for each other. We pitched in money to buy bread and Nutella. Abdul takes orders at 12 p.m. for anyone who wants shawarma, and Wei Hong becomes a char kway seller. But when we could finally tolerate each other, we went into quarantine.
And when we first got into lockdown, I remembered the cheers of joy by the cohort, which were mainly from Shirelle. Our naive selves thought this was a break from IB. But as the quarantine went on, it became clear that we now had new enemies. Google Meet was our arch nemesis, with exam.net as a close second, where Ye and I still get the chills whenever Mr. Matt sends the history class an email for a Zoom meeting. Yet, despite being alone in our bedrooms, separated from each other, Mr. Carl's mantra to step up lingered in our minds. Nobody told us to, but we still checked up on each other after lessons or sent morning texts to make sure we woke up for online attendance. Even at the loneliest of times, we can all turn to one another and think of someone who was there for us, because we were alone together.
And when you think quarantine couldn't get worse, we were introduced to 2 new letters, I and A. And when you put them together, you create this cohort's greatest nightmare. Doing this IA made me learn a lot of new skills. How to request for extensions at the very last minute, how to type faster as if my life depended on it, and how to ask for help from the classmates who too were struggling with their own IAs. Yeah, on top of those IAs, Miss Bridget, Mr. Jarrett, and Miss Saron reminded us of the 3 of the possible ways to fail the IB. To them, I'd like to thank you. For if it wasn't for Cass, I would have never known how to act like I'm interested in something that I'm not. And if it wasn't for TUK, I would have never been able to write something that I wasn't interested in. And if it wasn't for the EE, I would have never been able to learn paraphrasing that would have not been detected by Turnitin. But as 2021 approached and IAs were submitted, we were reminded of the final stretch, exams. But as we talked about our exams in May, we celebrated unit offers, and we talked about our summer plans, one by one, it hit all of us that this was all coming to an end. So we did what we do best, and just like our IAs, we pretended it wasn't there. So we continued to do puzzles in the library, and we turned library couches into beds, and invented new table tennis playstyles, all in a quiet and socially distanced manner that Mr. Matt would most definitely appreciate. But just like our IAs, we can only ignore them for so long, for the deadline will eventually creep up to us.
We joked about it during our last exams that this would not be the last time we spoke to each other, and it would most definitely be not. But as graduation turns online, the next time we meet might not be as soon as we think. Some things will definitely be lost, like the good mornings you get for registration, the hugs you receive before you leave, which obviously all occurred before the pandemic, and Armand bringing in his colorful tie rack on Fridays. But what will remain constant throughout time is Maxi will continue to be perplexed when you call his name, Lewis will still try and trip people with his MacBook charger, and that everyone in this cohort, no matter how close you were to them, including Shaheen, would still be there for you when you need them most. And as you enter the world of adulthood, it's important that we are able to pull lifelong lessons from the most inspiring people that we know. So wherever you go, be as motivating as Mr. Kyle, as selfless as Miss Sarah, as organized as Miss Amanda. But remember to take breaks and that life is easier than you think. So be as carefree as Mr. Jared, laugh as much as Miss B would, and be as sarcastic as Miss Saron. Give time to greet everyone with a smile and appreciate the life around you, just as Miss Morag would. And remember, Life is not a sprint, but a marathon, so make sure not to walk as fast as Mr. Vincent speeding through the halls.
Now, as we move on to a new chapter of life, I've never been really good at saying goodbyes. So I'll take inspiration from one of my favorite Disney characters, and as he said at his final moments, "Our time has come. You have to continue this journey without us. You must believe." Believe in yourselves as we embark on our own respective paths. And just like how it was in quarantine, the class of 2021 will always be alone, but together. Thank you.
Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race.
Ashiani is a caring individual who has shown empathy, respect, and compassion for others. Her leadership skills are underwritten by a supportive approach, and this has been evident in the boarding house and across the school, including her involvement in Race for Good. She has taken a balanced approach to her studies and has developed her self-management skills in the process. She emerges from the IB diploma as an accomplished inquirer and principled individual. Ashiani can be confident in her accomplishments and the positive impact she has made on the school.
Aisha has taken a courageous approach to the challenges of the IB diploma and has been resilient and determined in her approach. As both an athlete and a learner, Aisha is practical and leads by example, choosing action over words. This has led her to take up leadership roles in boarding, as we recognise she is someone who will get the job done. A critical thinker who is also reflective about her own learning. Aisha is engaged well with issues and ideas that have both local and global significance. Also an unassuming philosopher, Aisha's thoughtfulness and grit will take her far.
Alia has developed a reflective approach to the global issues that an IB education offers. A critical thinker, she has developed a considered approach to a variety of issues and ideas that have local and global significance. It has been a pleasure to witness this growth and see the confidence that goes alongside it. Thoughtful and supportive of others, Alia has been an asset to the cohort. Undoubtedly creative, her ability to see what others don't see is a talent to be nurtured. Alia's willingness to grow from experiences and accept challenges will ensure success in the future.
Andrew is a reflective individual who has also taken a determined approach to his IB diploma and is not one to be daunted by a challenge, whether in sports or in a TOK classroom. Andrew's collaborative skills have found him contributing to many groups, testament to his open-minded and caring nature. Andrew recognises his interdependence with other people and the world in which he lives. His balanced approach to all aspects of the IB diploma has allowed Andrew to develop a variety of skills that will allow him to take advantage of future opportunities.
Arifa is a caring individual who has shown empathy, compassion and respect. Another cornerstone of the year group, Arifa's affable approach has offered encouragement to others and allowed her to develop solid relationships across the cohorts. Principled in her approach, Arifa acts with integrity and takes responsibility for her own learning, both in and out of the classroom. She is also courageous in her willingness to look at ideas with a critical eye and has shown that she can adapt to uncertainty with forethought and determination.
Arman is a naturally inquisitive individual who has nurtured this curiosity and enthusiasm during his time in the IB diploma. His leadership as Student Council President is mirrored in classrooms as he is engaged and compassionate. A critical thinker is able to take responsible action on complex problems. Arman is also an effective communicator. He has shown courage throughout the IB diploma as he continued to challenge himself and work to understand his strengths and weaknesses, a good basis for a bright future.
Karen is a diligent inquirer who has not shied away from challenging ideas or challenging material. She has also shown immense resilience while seemingly taking everything in her stride. Karen has a critical appreciation for her own values and the values of others and is open-minded and willing to grow from experience. As a truly reflective learner, Karen learns from her experiences and those of others in order to improve. Along the way, she has also shared her insights with others and has offered much needed support. Her determination and courage will serve her well in the future.
Throughout his time in the IB diploma, Connor has maintained his criticality and developed his unique insights. His willingness to engage in discussion has created many memorable lessons, and his searching questions have benefited us all. Connor's natural curiosity and humour have made him a real asset to the cohort, and have allowed him to navigate challenges as they arise. His creative endeavours have helped to uplift the school, and his now well-developed self-management skills will allow him to juggle the many elements of being a busy university student.
Daniel is both resourceful and resilient, and has shown that he is a knowledgeable individual. Whether he is building speakers or acting, Daniel has also shown creative flair during his time in the IB diploma. He collaborates effectively and has helped many of his peers with their projects. Quiet but determined, Daniel makes a positive difference to those around him. Seemingly laid back, Daniel is inquisitive and thorough in his research. His calm assuredness will make him an asset to any institution he joins, where his flair for the complex and the creative will flourish.
Thoughtful and resilient, Gabriele has shown courage in understanding his strengths and weaknesses and has developed as a reflective individual. His positive attitude has been an asset to group work, and his contributions to lessons have offered levity and his own particular brand of humour. Always willing to offer his thinking in class, Gabriele has developed confidence in his abilities as a critical thinker who is able to analyse and solve complex problems. He has made great leaps and bounds during the course of the IB diploma, and we are sure he will continue to do so.
After joining a little late in Year 12, Iqbal has transformed from a quiet individual into an effective communicator who both listens carefully to the perspectives of others and contributes to the group. An open-minded individual, Iqbal has taken heed of advice and taken ownership of his progress. Iqbal has handled the adversity he has faced during the IB diploma with a mature and thoughtful attitude, and his insights have been well received. We wish Iqbal all the best on his continued upward trajectory.
Lewis has taken a dedicated and balanced approach to his IB diploma studies. His curiosity has taken him out of his self-proclaimed comfort zone, and his positive attitude has helped to bring others on board too. Very reflective, Lewis has also developed his conceptual understanding across a range of disciplines and has shown flair in the connections he can create. These well-developed thinking skills have helped him in his ability to solve complex problems, all complemented by his enthusiasm as a learner.
Sometimes resilience is developed as a result of reflection, and Melinda is testament to this. Courageous and open-minded, Melinda has developed a balanced approach that has seen her push her own limits and has revealed just how determined she can be. Quiet but sometimes opinionated, Melinda has offered mature insights in class discussions and in the boarding house. Supportive of her friends and considerate of others, Melinda has shown that she is not scared of putting in the hard work that will get her where she wants to be.
Sophia's willingness to take the lead has seen her grow in confidence throughout the IB diploma. She is a reflective individual who thoughtfully considers the world around her. Sophia works to understand her strengths and weaknesses and has been unrelentingly courageous in her approach. An effective communicator, Sophia has been in the middle of several creative projects, and her hard-working attitude has led to success. Sophia's insightful and positive approach have been well received at Nexus and will continue to be in her future endeavours.
Wei Hong has shown us all just how much a determined and positive approach can achieve. He has been consistently courageous, and his reflective approach has allowed him to make great leaps and bounds in his learning. He is not afraid to pursue his interests, and Nexus will miss its resident F1 expert. Knowledgeable and kind, Wei Hong has developed his communication skills and is an inquisitive individual who has developed the thinking skills to solve complex problems. His great attitude and willingness to get involved will be great assets in the future.
Yit is a knowledgeable individual whose curiosity extends across a range of disciplines, as do his sharp insights. A critical and creative thinker, Yit has often extended himself beyond the curriculum, taking the board pen and sharing his ideas with the rest of the class. Yit seeks and evaluates a range of different perspectives giving him an often mature and nuanced outlook, often on display during MUN. Always willing to challenge himself and others, yet has an unconquerable desire to learn and grow.
Zainab is a principled learner who has a strong sense of fairness and justice. A caring individual, she has a positive impact on those around her and acts with empathy and compassion. Her artistic skills are also not to be underrated, and she has repeatedly shown that she is a multifaceted learner. Zainab is also open-minded, and her reflective approach when listening to others is encouraging and supportive. Undoubtedly hardworking, Zainab is also comfortable to take risks with her learning and to challenge herself and grow.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. That's a time that I remember, when I never felt so lost, when I felt like all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feels like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know I'd never drop. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Everything gon' be alright. Go raise a glass and say, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. Do 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 do. Memories bring back you. Do 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 do. Memories bring back you.
Hello and congratulations, class of 2021, and what a class you are. One of the constants that I've witnessed with those intrepid learners who undertake the IB programme is the sense of cohesion that is always created within a cohort. The sense of getting through this together has never been stronger than in this year group. I suppose it's a result of the shared successes and suffering that comes with the stage of life that you're in, right on the cusp of stepping out into the world. And it's this stepping out into the world that I want to talk about a little bit more today. Today, as I speak to you from home, today when the idea of stepping out into the world can seem somewhat ludicrous, but it's still a step that you'll be taking, and these are steps that you're ready for. At the start of year 13, we recalled the origin story of the Wow Balan. I rambled a little about the different legends that surround the origins of the wow, from farmers using them to scare off birds from their paddy fields to the sounds that a wow made that helped to lull children to sleep. The story that we focused on particular was that of the young prince Duamuda, who according to legend had a lot to do with the origin of the Wow Balan during the Sri Vijaya Empire. Now it's said that he would go deep into a cave and meditate, focusing on his goals and ambitions of conquering neighbouring lands. And it's said that when he left his cave, he would emerge with a wire frame of the Wow Balan, and on it would be fine patterns of flowers and leaves, said to symbolise the lands he'd conquered and would conquer. The reason I like this story so much is that it speaks to the internal work that we all must do if we hope to achieve our goals. The visualisation, the reflection, and the self-belief that can often only be built in those quiet moments. Those anxious moments before those private battles that we all have to face. Those moments that give us the opportunity to define who we are and who we want to be. In many ways, the pandemic has added shape to the rock walls of Duamuda's cave. The IB journey alone is often an internal one that requires dark hours of solitude, the completion of assignment and the discovery of personal drive and motivation. And I just want to use today to bring you back to some of the things that you, class of 2021, wrote on your own wild lands when you were standing at the mouth of the cave of year 13. These are some of the things that you wrote. To be the most reliable person I know. It is what it is. Take everything without judgment. Do your best. Finish the IB, spend time with family, and then travel to the US for university. Spend time with your sister. Get more stamps in your passport and start getting up at 6 a.m. Maybe not just yet. Have a summer first. Try more things while you can. Just keep swimming. Finish IAs in the EE. Develop grit and empathy. Embrace and understand my anxiety. Become self-sufficient and practice gratitude. Be giving, reliable and disciplined. Appreciate myself more. Open an animal rescue and rehabilitation centre. Be in uni. Make my own income. Be number one at something. Be polite. I don't think that any more praise is needed when you hear the goals that you set for yourselves. We couldn't wish for more, and we're so proud of you. I just want to come back to this wild Gulan again, because flying one is an interesting thing. And I've got to say, I don't speak from experience, but Google told me that it requires up to 5 people, with one person holding up each side while a few line up and hold the string to launch the kite. And then when the wind is ready, they run together and launch the kite. I just thought this was a great image to contemplate as we think about your family and friends who have held your edges and helped you, and about the teachers who have supported you. And now the winds are right. Maybe stepping out into the world was the wrong verb. Maybe flying out into the world would have been better. Definitely more cheesy. Either way, I wish you the best in navigating the winds and reaching great heights. And I'll also end with words that were written by you. And I wish you wisdom, strength, happiness, and loyalty. Be kind, be thankful, and never be afraid of the winds of change. Well done. The IB diploma has a way of facilitating growth and maturity, and Abdul Rahman has taken full advantage of this. It's been a pleasure to see him become more reflective in his approach to his studies and develop strategies that work for him. We have seen Abdul Rahman set and achieve his own goals, and he's shown himself to be a principled learner who takes responsibility for his actions. Abdul Rahman's developed sense of fairness and justice will help to contribute to a better and more peaceful world.
Afif has taken full advantage of what the IB diploma has to offer and has developed as a well-rounded individual. His self-management skills have allowed him to handle the different activities that he has been involved in, and his creativity has flourished. A principled and caring individual, Afif has been a constant support for his peers. Afif has also shown that he is a developed thinker who takes a reflective approach to complex issues. Afif's enthusiastic and can-do attitude will continue to spur him on in his future.
Ayla has developed a dedicated maturity alongside her playful and affable approach, making her a well-balanced IB learner. As she has overcome the challenges of the IB and the last 2 years, we've seen her grow in confidence and flourish. Her self-management skills have allowed her to maintain her dedication to her horse and her studies, and Ayla is definitely not afraid of hard work. Her resilience, sense of humour and kindness towards others are just some of the attributes to be proud of.
Bernard has relished the opportunities to develop his critical thinking and is an open-minded individual who is receptive to new ideas. He has also brought many new ideas to discussions, and his unique perspective has been valued during his time in the IB diploma. Bernard has developed his collaboration skills and his ability to communicate effectively, on show when he is on stage or in the classroom. A caring and principled individual, Bernard emerges from the IB diploma as a balanced and enthusiastic inquirer.
Chelsea's high level of engagement extends to all areas of IB life, and she has proven herself to be a diligent individual with exceptional self-management skills. Hard-working, collaborative, and always willing to contribute, Chelsea's positivity has shone over the last 2 years. She sets high standards for herself, and her resilience has allowed her to meet these expectations time and again. An effective communicator, Chelsea's gregarious, driven, and humble nature will make her warmly welcomed in any institution she joins.
Hui Yun's industrious nature is a sight to behold, and her commitment to completing work to a high standard has been unwavering. In addition, Hui Yun's inquisitive nature has led to many a follow-up question in the IB Hub, and her reflective approach has been a pleasure to witness. It's been a joy seeing Hui Yun grow in confidence and how she has learnt to apply her knowledge and understanding in both the familiar and unfamiliar. Hui Yun graduates from the IB diploma as a knowledgeable and principled individual with bags of courage.
Isaac's thoughtful approach to his learning has bolstered many a class discussion, and his polite approach to others has always been a pleasure to witness. He is a valued member of the cohort who is supportive and kind in his approach to others, even when his competitive side comes out when playing volleyball. The IB diploma has offered many opportunities for Isaac to reflect and progress, and his willingness to take full advantage of these opportunities is a strength that he now graduates with.
Izati's much needed flair and creativity have been readily available throughout these 2 years, and she's happily shared this with us all. Often found with a smile on her face, Izati has developed into an effective inquirer, and she has an endless supply of questions and considerations to support her. Principled and caring, Izati has been supportive of others and always willing to contribute. Her open-minded and engaged approach make her a welcome addition to any setting.
Jonathan is a principled learner whose considered approach to all things is testament to his earnest approach to learning. In balancing his co-curricular interests and his studies, Jonathan has been both courageous and reflective. Already an enthusiastic inquirer, Jonathan's approach to the IB diploma has also seen him emerge as a leader in MUN and the Student Council. An effective communicator, Jonathan's contributions to classes are always articulate and insightful. His perseverance shines as one of his many great qualities.
Junie's studious approach to the IB diploma has showcased her hard-working attitude and oftentimes laser-like focus. She has shown great diligence during her IB diploma studies and has also developed as an effective communicator. A reflective individual who is also courageous enough to challenge her own ideas, Junie will not leave a stone unturned in trying to find an answer. Her determination has also made her a well-rounded learner whose drive will take her far.
Mark was a member of the founding class of Nexus, and it has been an absolute pleasure to see him grow on his journey with us. His principled approach has meant that Mark can be both dedicated and steadfast, and he has developed as both a communicator and a thinker. He has shown great progress in his self-management and effective skills, which is testament to the reflective approach that he has taken to his experience of the IB diploma. Mark is a courageous individual who has handled the various challenges that the IB diploma can present. As one of the Nexus originals, we wish him all the best.
Maximilian is a Nexus original whose journey with us has uncovered a mature and motivated individual who is determined to do well. His tenacity, both on the rugby field and in his academic pursuits, have led him to taking a reflective approach that identifies opportunities for growth and recognises his strength. Maximilian's self-management skills have also equipped him with the tools to handle the demands of the IB diploma, and his witty and conscientious approach will continue to make Nexus proud.
Christina's smile throughout the challenges of the IB diploma has been unwavering, and she is a courageous individual who has shown dedication throughout. Her reflective and determined approach has served her success, and she is always willing to try. Christina's positive attitude has been a support for her peers, and she is an open-minded and caring individual who has also taken a balanced approach to her studies. Her commitment to others has been evident in the various activities she's been part of, and her perseverance is a real strength.
Sabrina's seemingly nonchalant approach belies the courage and resilience that she has developed over these 2 years. Always willing to respond to feedback and always seeking to improve, Sabrina's hard-working mentality has been complemented by an affable and supportive approach to others, something that can be seen on and off the basketball and volleyball courts. Principled and thoughtful, her empathetic approach extends to her peers and in her consideration of complex global issues.
Although Sam may sometimes be one of the quieter learners in the cohort, he has proven that he is just as resilient and just as determined to be successful. In many ways, Sam's quietly determined approach has been a guide for others, and his independence has developed into a real strength. Sam takes a reflective approach to his studies, and his responsiveness to new ideas has allowed him to develop his own. Sam's balanced and focused attitude will see him go far in the future.
Shaheen has shown that he is a determined learner who has maintained a steadfast approach to his studies. Quiet and thoughtful, Shaheen is diligent and often meticulous in his preparations. A critical thinker who is also open-minded, Shaheen has effective research skills that make him a successful inquirer. His analytical approach showcases his thoroughness, and his hard-working nature has made him one of the pillars of the cohort. His rock-steady attitude will help him to achieve the goals he sets for himself.
When she's not reading a book, Sherelle is busy being a resilient inquirer. She's reflective and open-minded, and the confidence that's come with sharing her ideas has been great to see. Her diligence and humility make her a principled learner whose attitude to learning often extends to extra efforts outside of the classroom, for example winning the economics essay writing competition with the University of Nottingham. Courageous and committed, Sherelle graduates with attributes that will allow her to be successful in whatever she chooses.
Soleil has maintained his warm disposition throughout the IB diploma, and his amicable approach to his peers has been of great benefit. Caring and open-minded, Soleil is also a determined individual who understands his interdependence with others. His level of independence has also grown, and this is evidence of his resilience and positive attitude. Soleil's increasing confidence is based on his many achievements over the past 2 years, and we look forward to this continuing to grow.
Soraya is one of the most consistent learners that we have had. Consistent in her engagement, her effort, and her enthusiasm for learning. She is inquisitive and knowledgeable, and her reflective approach has allowed her to develop her own insights into topics that she enjoys extending outside of the limits of the classroom. Soraya is a principled individual who can also exercise initiative in making reasoned, ethical decisions, a skill that will help her navigate her way beyond Nexus.
Zoe is an enthusiastic learner who has taken a diligent approach throughout the IB diploma. With a tight circle from the boarding house, Zoe has offered a steady resilience that has contributed to the overall spirit of the cohort. An effective inquirer, her open-minded approach to a range of points of view has shown her maturity and curious nature. Zoe's cheerful contributions over the last 2 years have been well received, and her dedication will support her in all of her endeavours.
It's 8 a.m. and I can't sleep in. Just another day while the sun is up. Well, I've done my hair and I've worn my clothes. Now I'm ready for my daily close-up. So I go downstairs while my mother's there, unaware of the creaky stairs. And as I sit down, I think about how there's so many things I couldn't be without. All of these things that I do, all of these things that I say, don't just make up everything. The person that I seem to you, I am me. I Every time I mask what makes me me, I struggle to think about what others see, 'cause it's never just one thing to describe the complicated parts of reality, 'cause there's so many things, including family and our beliefs over the cups of tea that we spill and share.
My Sunday.
And there's always more I say. All of these things that I do, all of these things that I say, don't just make up everything.
And who would have thought that from all of that joy would come the shadow of the pandemic, and with it more pressure. But even a pearl needs the environment of the oyster, and so our intrepid IB learners persevered, as only they can, together, getting through it all, with a smile on their faces and a fair share of memes.
Tell me, would it be the end of the world if she told you she's in love with a girl? Would you think that he was just making noise if he confessed the one he liked was a boy? Tell me, why is it so wrong for us to fall for what we love? Do we not matter at all? Why should we be kept from being free? But someday you'll find somewhere you could be your true self, the one we never got to see.
Honestly, I kind of want to put this in the final film. So, IB Diploma Class 2021. That is.
Nexus graduating class of 2021. Well done. Today is a celebration of you, and not only the academic success that you've achieved over the past 2 years, but all that you've achieved over the past 17 to 18 years of your lives. I stand here in awe. To graduate from the IB program is a feat. To do so during 2 years of a global pandemic is nothing short of heroic. When I made my closing speech to the graduates of 2020, I never thought for a second that our 2021 graduation would not be with you all here in person in our wonderful theatre. However, here we are at the end of a chapter of your lives that I hope has helped you to develop into future, innovative, resilient and adaptable young leaders and change makers. Many thanks to those of you in the student and boarding councils who have, over the years, supported and cared for the well-being of our learners. It's clear that society works best when we think not just about ourselves, but about each other. I'd also like you to join me in thanking your parents and loved ones who've supported you both financially and emotionally through your time here at Nexus, and who will continue to support you throughout your lives. If you're going away to university, please remember to appreciate them and be sure to call them every so often to let them know how you are doing, because you can be sure that they'll be thinking of you. As the founding head of Nexus, I helped to develop and introduce the guiding statements of the school, and international mindedness has always been one of our key values. So when Mr. Kyle told me that the loose theme for today's ceremony, chosen by you, the learners, was international mindedness and openness, I felt a shiver of satisfaction and achievement. Our tagline for almost 15 years has been embracing diversity, challenging minds, and it still beautifully describes what we strive to accomplish. International mindedness for me has always been the key to understanding our world and the diversity of the people in it. As the world makes its way out of this global pandemic, it's now more important than ever to recognise the interconnectivity of nations, and it's only through working together to create a fair and equal society that we will triumph as a species. Our Nexus Way, as you will all know, comprises of the elements inclusion, innovation, relationships, and mindsets. Let's consider how our Nexus Way may have shaped your thoughts over the years that you've been with us, and how it may help you to appreciate diversity and open-mindedness. Our approach to inclusion will have helped you to appreciate others and share the world with those who are the same as you, as well as those who are different. Through a constant push towards innovation and the use of technology to make a difference in the world, we've attempted to open your eyes to the multitude of possibilities available to you outside of the school gates. At the heart of international mindedness is a frame of mind, a mindset, a curiosity about the world, and an openness towards the other. This development of international mindedness begins with very young children finding out about themselves and continues to develop towards the kind of open-minded global citizens that many of you here today have become. As you will no doubt recognise from our infographic at the front of the school, Howard Gardner calls this development the declining sense of egocentrism. The importance of relationships has really been highlighted during the past 2 years, and we've realised that the profound appreciation of the complexity of our world and our relationships are really important to each other. As young adults promoting global awareness and open-mindedness, you're able to help us all to move forward towards a brighter and more peaceful future. I have great hope in you, our Nexus IB graduates, to be the future of what can and what should be our beautiful world. Whether you're headed to university, the world of work, or taking a gap year, my advice to you is the same. Leave here and do whatever you do with just one explicit goal. Don't just make a career, make a life, and aim to reshape the world, because whatever career you choose to take, you'll have the opportunity and the ability to make a positive change. You can achieve great things by becoming the greatest version of you that you can be. And so, class of 2021, I wish you every success as you go into this big world of ours with your IB diplomas, and I invite you to consider this quote from Charles Dickens to help you to reflect on the past 2 years. He said this: "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the spring of hope, and it was the winter of despair. Throughout your lives, you will encounter the best of times, and you'll also encounter the worst of times. I hope that your teachers and colleagues here at Nexus have taught you that it is through living in the good times, as well as surviving the challenges of the bad times, that you can grow and blossom. Best of luck, Nexus graduates, as you go forward into the spring of hope.